right now. This is College Football Game Night.
Welcome to another week of College Football Game Night. Thank you for joining us. I'm Peyton Manny.
And I'm Madison Marie. Another week of college football has come and gone, but we have a lot to go over. Before we get into the highlights of the SOU game, Peyton, why was this week so important for the Raiders?
Well, Madison, it was dedication week at SOU, so this week was very special for the Raiders. The Raiders work hard every day at practice, not only for themselves, but for their coaches and their teammates. But this week, the guys played for something bigger than their team. They played for the people who helped get them to where they are now. Whether that be a family member, coach, friend, or teammate, the game today was dedicated to them. At practice earlier this week, I spoke with linebacker Jake Regino on who he's dedicating this game to. He told me that he dedicated not only this game, but the whole season to his best friend, Spencer Webb.
Dedication week means a lot because my best friend from high school, Spencer Webb, that played football at University of Oregon, he passed away right before his 5th year at Oregon, right before fall camp. And that was how we became best friends, was this sport. So him not being able to play the sport he loved so much anymore, and him getting taken away too soon, it's pretty much this whole season is for him, and especially this week. So yeah, Saturday will be a big, probably emotional game for me as I'll walk in with his jersey, and yeah, I'm excited to play for him though.
Spencer Webb left such an impression on the people he met, and it's friends like Jake that will keep his memory alive forever.
That's right, Peyton. Such a touching story from Jake. And now that we heard the dedication week, what it means to the players, let's break down the game. Starting with the first half, the Raiders came out on fire. Defense was riled up, offense was ready. Peyton, how was the energy at that game?
Gosh, Madison, it was awesome. I could tell how excited the guys were to be playing again and how pumped up they were to play at home in front of their fans. The atmosphere at Raiders Stadium was awesome. But let's show you just how good the Raiders were in the first half. The Raiders took the field for their dedication game against the College of Idaho Coyotes, and there are the Yotes taking the field as well after the Raiders. And here they come, the College of Idaho and the SOU Raiders. The Raiders received the ball first, and the first touchdown would not come for either team until the last minutes in the first half. The Raiders driving downfield, and Ashuto finds tight end Jeremiah Fallstick with the catch and quick run. And then Ashuto will find Christian Graney deep for the Raiders touchdown. And the Raiders will go up 7-0 at the end of the first quarter. There's that touchdown from Christian Graney, hyped up. The guys were excited. And in the second quarter, the Yotes found a way to get on the board. So game tied 7-7. Raiders with the ball back, and Ashuto looks to throw, and he finds Sawyer Cleveland for an amazing catch with pressure from the defense. Next play, Ashuto finds Amarion Kelly, and Kelly does the rest of the work, and he finds the holes, breaks some tackles, does a little spin move, and gets through to the paint. That touchdown puts the Raiders ahead 14-7. When the Yotes get the ball back, they travel downfield fast, but the Raiders defense said nope, better luck next time, forcing them to kick a field goal. And the Yotes will miss the 3 extra points to add to their score. Leaving the first half, the Raiders lead 14-7. Strong first half from the Raiders. Like we said earlier, the Raiders offense and defense were on in the first half. Besides little mistakes and penalties that are easy fixes, the Raiders had the first half on lock. Ashuto was connecting with his receivers with protection from his O-line, and the defense did a great job closing fast on the Yotes' running game.
Right, Peyton. From the looks of it, it seemed like the Raiders took control of the first half. Let's see if they kept their foot on the brake heading into the second half. And in the second half, start of the third quarter, Yotes drive down the field, and with the leaping jump for the touchdown, that'll put the Yotes up 7 more on the board. Game tied at 14. The Raiders get the ball back and move quickly down the field. Sophomore Ben Rush comes in, looks to go deep, and with a beautiful pass, finds Bryce Goggins for the catch. That'll get Raiders in field goal position, and Cesar Ruse steps in to take the field goal. It's good. Raiders put up 3 more points on the board. 17-14 Raiders. There was a lightning delay in Ashland, and it was almost 2 hours before they took the field again. Coming back after the delay, though, the Yotes scored a rushing touchdown, putting them up 21-17 on the kickoffs. Catching the ball and runs. He keeps running. See ya, Yotes. Bodell takes it all the way back for the kick return. The Raiders take the lead again, 24-14. Fast forward, the Yotes in scoring position again, and they get the touchdown, 28-24, College of Idaho. The Raiders have the ball once again, and Blake Asciutto throws a pick six. That'll put another 7 on the board for those Yotes, 35-24 Yotes. And the Raiders couldn't get any more points on the board. They couldn't stop the Yotes in the second half either. The Yotes will score one more time before the game ends, and Southern Oregon falls to the College of Idaho.
The final score of today's dedication game was 42-24 College of Idaho. The Raiders fought hard all game long with outstanding performances from both their offense and defense. I think if there's no delay in the game, the Raiders come out of that game with the win. And coming up, we'll see how number 25 Oregon Ducks matched up against number 12 BYU. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
College Football Game Night, presented by Quality Fence of Southern Oregon.
Rouge Hardware, we go the extra mile so you don't have to. Conveniently located just off Highway 238 on the road to Applegate Lake, Rouge Hardware offers UPS services for your convenience. Check out our e-commerce site for all of your summer shopping needs. With selections from general hardware, grow and garden, animal and livestock, automotive and plumbing, Rouge Hardware has everything you need to keep cool and have fun this summer. Of course, curbside service and local delivery are available. Rouge Hardware, your friendly saving more trips to town store.
Quality Fences, doing it right for you. Just ask your neighbor.
They reflect a style as unique as you are. They make first impressions. They provide space, add lasting beauty and security. Quality is a reflection of who you are. That's why all your fencing projects begin here.
Quality Fences, doing it right for you.
I'm Natalie Weber with the Oregon Department of Forestry. Last year, a number of fires along our roadways were caused by cars. Worn out tiny metal pieces of your catalytic converter can shoot out of your car's exhaust at 1200 degrees and ignite dry grass on the side of the road. Avoiding this fire risk is easy. Service your car at regular intervals. If you hear a rattling noise, make sure to get it checked out. It could mean one less wildfire this summer. For more information, visit keeporegongreen.org.
Dear Detour, you took us off-road on the gnarliest trails. You asked us to measure up, so yeah, we did. When life slings you mud, sling it right back. Stay strong, Toyota Trucks.
Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our no-cost maintenance plan with roadside assistance. Visit your local Toyota dealer to learn more. Reserve yours at toyota.com.
Toyota, let's go places.
Well, we just wanted to define our property. We got 1.25 acres and just wanted to make it stand out. Also, I think increases the value of our property a lot. Turned out great, very professional. It was outstanding quality and outstanding service.
I feel like we live in a park, and it would be the equivalent of having a Monet unframed. Once you put the fence up, you framed the picture. Couldn't be more beautiful. I wouldn't change a thing.
Quality Fences, doing it right for you.
Welcome back to College Football Game Night.
The stage was set for the BYU Cougars and the Oregon Ducks. It was a clear, sunny day at Autzen Stadium, and the fans were ready for another home game.
The stakes for this game were big. Number 25 Oregon against number 12 BYU. The Ducks still have a lot to prove, not only to themselves, but to Coach Lanning and to Ducks Nation.
Over the last 4 games against ranked opponents, the Ducks were outscored 172-52. Now, granted, Dan Lanning has only been the head coach during one of those games, and during today's game against the 12th-ranked BYU Cougars, they led start to finish, winning 41-20.
We didn't really care if you knew what we were going to do. You had to stop us, and I thought our offense did a great job of that. Had some big defensive stops as well, played contested balls well. And then, I thought this was our cleanest game from a special team standpoint.
Bo Nix was responsible for all 5 Duck touchdowns, 3 on the ground and 2 in the air, both to tight end Terrence Ferguson.
But I thought Bo made great decisions today. Again, each week he gets more and more confident in what we're trying to accomplish.
So it was obviously a really good confidence game for me. And it was just a great team win. There was nothing that I did that was anything special, and obviously it was all those guys doing most of the work themselves.
The Ducks led 24-7 at half and extended their lead the first possession of the third quarter with a Nix 6-yard rush. Nix finished with 35 yards on 9 carries.
You're only as good as your last game, and you're only as good as your last play. We got to live in the moment. We're not resting on our laurels. We got a lot of other things that we can go work on, but we have a team that'll work. Right, I told the guys in the locker room, the more you sweat in peace, the less you bleed more.
The Ducks finished non-conference play 2-1, and next week will open up Pac-12 play on the road at Washington State. Reporting from Autzen Stadium, I'm Nick Ursini.
Oregon took control of the game and never took their foot off the gas. The Cougars only scored in the second and fourth quarter. The Ducks take down number 12 BYU 41-20. BYU's Jaron Hall outperformed Bo Nix in tonight's game. Hall threw for 305 yards with 2 touchdowns, and Bo Nix only had 222 yards and 2 touchdowns. Huge game at Autzen Stadium tonight, but the Ducks showed up and showed out. And this was the highest ranked opponent the Ducks faced at home in 4 years.
The last time the Ducks faced a highly ranked opponent at home was when Oregon beat number 7 Washington in 2018. Leading up to the game, the competition was heating up.
BYU beat the number 9 ranked Baylor Bears last weekend in the second overtime. And after the Ducks lost to Georgia in week 1, Oregon defensive back Christian Gonzalez says this game was an opportunity to redeem themselves against a ranked team.
To think that any of the guys that just got here for us are going to be the same players 10 games from now is a complete disservice to them and to our program from a development standpoint. So, I've been around programs a long time where a guy that wasn't necessarily involved game 1 was super involved game 10. Right, we had a guy, for us last year, Winning Poole, who didn't play hardly in any games the entire year and then started for us in the SEC Championship and the National Championship game.
They're just very multiple and very physical. They give you a lot of different looks inside the box. They're pretty good in a lot of areas, a lot of positions. They do a good job of letting the players play. And they aren't really necessarily exotic. They just line up in a bunch of different places.
And let's throw it back to last week, Madison. Let's talk about Oregon and their blowout win against Eastern Washington.
The Ducks played their hearts out. Bo Nix went 28 for 33 with 5 touchdowns for 277 yards. And Marquise Irvine had 8 carries for 74 yards with 1 touchdown. Our sister station in Eugene has more on the game.
The big question coming into this game was how the Ducks would respond after that ugly, lopsided loss to Georgia last weekend. Well, Oregon, they responded in a big way. The defense got a 3-and-out stop on their first possession of the game, and then the Oregon offense came down and scored on what was an efficient, impressive drive on a touchdown pass from Bo Nix to Terrence Ferguson. And the Ducks put the foot on the gas and really never let up the entire way. And Dan Lanning gets his first win as head coach of the Oregon Ducks.
Yeah, we said we want to do simple better, right? And this week was all about doing simple better. It was about fundamentals and technique. I think you saw a lot of that show up in the game.
The Ducks made it look simple with the 70-14 win. Lanning said last week's loss came down to 3 things: tackling, takeaways, and penalties. The Ducks tackled better and had more takeaways. Oregon had 6 penalties for 55 yards. Lanning says there is still a lot of work to do.
I think that the ceiling's, still really high, and there's a lot that we can still improve on. Did we see improvement? Yeah. I mean, we tackled better. We played more physical at the point of attack.
Bo Nix played a lot better, too. Nix is the first Oregon quarterback to throw at least 5 touchdown passes in a game since Justin Herbert in 2019.
I thought he made, some really good decisions and operated really well. At times, there's a couple plays that I want to go back and look at and see what he saw. But overall, I thought he did a really good job of understanding what we were trying to get accomplished.
And the Ducks will have a much tougher test next week when they take on number 21 BYU right here at Autzen Stadium at 12:30. At Autzen Stadium, Julian Minnesone.
A 56-point difference leading the Ducks to their first win of the season last week, and their first win in Autzen Stadium. Heading into today, the Ducks were 1-1.
Coming up next, we're checking to see how the Beavers prepared for their home game. That wasn't actually at home. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
College Football Game Night, presented by Quality Fence of Southern Oregon.
At Sweet Tea Express, we've got you covered. Order at the counter and our friendly service staff will do the rest. Breakfast served daily until 2 p.m. Breakfast burritos, biscuits and gravy, skillets, omelets, and more. Sweet Tea Express. Don't get caught hungry.
Dear night owls, when darkness falls, our stunning style takes flight as we soar over city streets. And our fuel economy is ever so wise. This ride's a hoot. Trust us, Toyota sedans.
Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our no-cost maintenance plan. Visit your local Toyota dealer today. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
All Natural Pest Elimination has served the Northwest for 30 years. We offer free home inspection and estimates. We thoroughly evaluate for insects and rodents while providing multiple treatment options. We pride ourselves in using Natureline, our eco-friendly proprietary blend of pest control products, which is safer for people, pets, and the environment. Our customers are covered by a full-service warranty, so if pests happen to return, so do we, at no extra cost. Call us today for your free inspection and estimate. One call gets them all, naturally.
Quality Fences, doing it right for you. Just ask your neighbor.
They reflect a style as unique as you are. They make first impressions. They provide space, add lasting beauty, and security. Quality is a reflection of who you are. That's why all your fencing projects begin here.
Quality Fences, doing it right for you.
Seems like things are very complicated these days. Are you sure you're doing that right? No. That's why Spectrum Mobile makes mobile easy with unlimited data and nationwide 5G for $29.99 a month per line when you get 2 or more lines. So no added taxes, no hidden fees, and no contracts. Just $29.99. It's simple. Just a coffee.
Decaf, half calf, cloud roasted.
I'll just do a water then.
Artisanal water, spring water, babbling brook.
Want simple? Get unlimited data and nationwide 5G for $29.99. Call, click, or visit a Spectrum store today.
At Sweet Tea Express, we've got you covered. Order at the counter and our friendly service staff will do the rest. Burgers, salads, sandwiches, barbecue platters, sides, and more. Smoked, grilled, and served to perfection. Sweet Tea Express. Breakfast, burgers, and barbecue.
Welcome back to College Football Game Night.
Welcome back to College Football Game Night. After last week's huge win against Fresno State from the Jackhammer, I know we were ready to watch the Beavers take the stage once again today against Montana State. Both teams actually played in Portland at a neutral site to switch things up a little, make it a little different. And the final out there in Portland just ended 28 Montana State, 68 Oregon State. Chance Nolan with 276 yards passing and 4 touchdowns. Mellett with 101 yards and 3 interceptions. Last time the Beavers scored exactly 68 points was back in 1921. And of course, as always, we'll have highlights for you tonight at 11.
It truly is the best time of the year when football is back on, and it's because of games like the Oregon State versus Fresno State game. This was one of the wildest endings in college football I've seen in a long time.
Right, Peyton. This finish featured 3 lead changes in the final minute and 50 seconds of that game. Chance Nolan threw a 17-yard touchdown pass to Trayshawn Harrison with a minute 50 remaining to put Oregon State ahead 29-26 on the 2-point conversion. Jake needed 45 seconds to answer, completing a 45-yard pass to Jalen Cooper that set up a go-ahead 4-yard score.
I guess getting on the road isn't too bad after all for the Beavers. The Beavers are off to a strong start this season and heading into their game against Montana State, the Raiders have 2 wins under their belt.
And today the Beavers played at home, but they weren't at Reser Stadium. The Beavers met the Bobcats at Providence Park in Portland, as we said earlier. Let's see how they prepared to play at Providence Park.
Providence Park, typically home for the Portland Timbers and Thorn Soccer, was transformed into a football stadium for today's game, and Beaver Nation showed out. The stadium was sold out for today's game. The cool thing about playing here is that the Beavers practice at Providence Park during fall camp to get familiar with the facility, so this shouldn't be anything new to them.
I think just getting there and seeing the venue itself, starting to imagine it full with a bunch of Beaver fans, I think it's going to be cool and fun. I think our guys are excited to get up there and play in front of our fan base. A couple guys drafted off of their roster, so they got our complete attention on both sides of the ball, quality football, and our guys are going to have to prepare really well to give us a chance to win the game.
And coming up, we're taking a look at all of the Pac-12 games being played today. Sit back and relax. We have a lot of football still left to cover. We'll be right back.
College Football Game Night, presented by Quality Fence of Southern Oregon.
Quality Fences, doing it right for you. Just ask your neighbor. Is doing it right for you.
No one goes all in on made-from-scratch freshness like Papa Murphy's. We go all in on quality, all in on craft. And on the Triple Pep Pizza, we go all in on pepperoni. Because when you go all in, people notice. Go all in with a limited-time Triple Pep Pizza, topped with 3 types of pepperoni for just $11.99. Papa Murphy's. Change the way you pizza.
One of the main reasons people come to Soul Savers is because they don't have a lot of money saved up. They don't have $3,000 to put down. They don't have great credit. To get a car at Soul Savers, really you just need a full-time job, a paid stub, driver's license, and $200. And as long as that payment fits within your budget, you're taking that car home with you. My name is Mike, and I'm the manager at Soul Savers.
The reopened fire sale at Golden Gems Fine Jewelry on the Plaza downtown Ashland continues with huge markdowns. Over $1 million in inventory is priced to sell, and everything will go. Wedding sets, diamonds, earrings, pendants, diamond rings, watches, and more. Everything will go. Hurry in for the best selection during the reopened fire sale going on now only at Golden Gems on the Plaza downtown Ashland or at goldengems.com.
I'm a registered Republican and a registered nurse, and I would never let politics get in the way of caring for patients. That's why I'm not voting for Christine Drazen. She wants to be Oregon's first anti-abortion rights governor. Christine has already promised to veto any pro-choice policies. She's backed by a radical group that wants to make all abortion illegal. That's extreme, and it would be so dangerous for so many women, but Christine Drazen doesn't care.
Paid for by Run Betsy Run, Committee ID 3591.
Welcome back to College Football Game Night.
Welcome back to College Football Game Night. The Pac-12 met some tough competition today, and by that I mean UCLA struggling to slide by South Alabama at home. I mean, Madison, watching this game, I didn't know what was coming next. The Bruins hosting South Alabama at home. DTR back to pass. He sure did not disappoint today. And his 9-yard pass to Jake Bobo is beautiful. Jake gives UCLA some points, but South Alabama is still up 17-13. Early in the third quarter, DTR back again, finding Cam Brown for the 11-yard pass. UCLA finally back with the lead. 20 Bruins, 17 South Alabama. And head coach Chip Kelly had a few words after the win. A struggle to get to the end, but Coach was happy with the win.
You got a smile on your face, never a doubt in this one, right?
Well, never a doubt when Nick Alioti's in the house. So I know we're undefeated when Nick plays. He reminds me of it, but gritty, tough, got it out. We made a lot of mistakes that we need to clean up as we get into league play. But it's always better when you can win with lessons to learn in the game than lose with lessons to learn in the game. So
we talked about coming into this game that there were a lot of unanswered questions about your team. I know there are probably still some more questions that need to be answered as the season goes along, but did you learn anything about the way they finished us off?
The resiliency. We talk about competitors respond, non-competitors react. I thought they responded. There's a lot of things we got to work on, but just the mindset is something that you don't know until you get into a game. So, proud of how they finished it off. Some guys made some big plays for us. So, but it doesn't get any easier. We all of us had 3 out of conference games. Now we get into conference play, and we all know what that's like. So.
Just real quick, Nicholas Barmier to have 4 field goals, the game winner as time expired. He just got put on scholarship. I bet that was a cool moment for him.
Awesome. He missed one early in the season, and then to come back and respond like the way he did today, obviously we needed every single one of them. We got to do a better job in red zone offense, but for Nick to get 4 today and to win by 1 is huge. I'm really, really happy for him.
Chip, congratulations, and go celebrate with Nick Aliotti. We'll try and get him on the road with you.
Pac-12 in the morning, hashtag, let's start that rolling. I know they got the Pac-12 at night, but let's start Pac-12 in the morning because we got an 11 o'clock kick at Colorado next week.
Okay, Pac-12 in the AM, I'm down for that. UCLA barely scraping by, but they made it out. Final out in LA today was 32-31 UCLA Bruins. Dorian with 263 yards and 3 touchdowns, and Jake Bobo with 89 yards and 1 touchdown. UCLA continuing their win streak with 3 games in the books.
You thought that game was good. Check this one out. Cal at Notre Dame. Are the Fighting Irish back? Do they deserve to be ranked still? These are all questions I asked throughout this whole game. But hey, Notre Dame is always going to be Notre Dame. The Fighting Irish hosting Cal in South Bend. Let's do it. Early second quarter, Jack Plummer completes it to Michael for the 18-yard touchdown pass. Cal's up 7-0, and I have hope for the Pac-12. Still in the second, Drew Pine finding Chris for the complete 21-yard touchdown, and we're tied at 7. Jumping to fourth quarter, Drew again finding Michael for the 6-yard touchdown, and Notre Dame finds the lead. Irish up 24-17. Last chance for Cal. The Hail Mary, and nope, it's going to be incomplete. And unfortunately, Cal will fall. 24 Notre Dame, 17 Cal. Jack Plummer with 184 yards passing, and Jeremiah Hunter 66 yards receiving. And say what you want, but I don't know about this Notre Dame team. Cal really giving them a run for their money today.
Wow, we're really only through 2 games in the Pac-12, and it's already heating up. Well, let's head out to Minnesota, where the Colorado Buffaloes fought against a tough Minnesota offense and couldn't find their feet for most of the game. Minnesota is going to fine Mohamed Ibrahim early in the first quarter for a 5-yard touchdown run. That will put the Golden Gophers up first. They'll score 1 more touchdown in the first quarter. Second quarter, Minnesota will find the paint again, and with little help from his O-line, third and fourth quarter, finding the end zone once again. The Buffalo won't score until 8 minutes left in the game. Austin Smith with a 4-yard touchdown from J.T. Strout, but it's just a little too late. Minnesota will take this one home. And final in Minnesota, 49-7. The Buffaloes with 226 total yards, and Minnesota finishing with 500. Minnesota's Tanner Morgan with 157 passing yards and 3 touchdowns.
And staying with Colorado teams, the Colorado State Rams headed north to see what Wazoo and the Cougs are up to today, but Washington State was not there to joke around. Early in the first quarter, bada boom, bada bang, Ward's 17-yard pass to Ollie for the touchdown. Cougs on the board already, 7-0. Still in the first, 3 minutes left, Ward with a 19-yard pass to Scribbling for their 3rd touchdown of just the first quarter. Second quarter, Ollie again from Cameron Ward. Wazoo up 28-0 heading into the half. There's that beautiful shot, and it will be the Cougars' ball from there on out. Final out in Washington, 7 Colorado State, 38 Washington State. Cameron Ward finishing with 292 passing yards and 4 touchdowns. And Colorado State's Clay Millen with 211 passing yards and 1 touchdown. Both quarterbacks throwing 1 interception through the game.
Well, now staying with the Washington teams, the unranked Washington went out to Michigan to take on number 11 ranked Spartans. And out in Washington, look at this shot of the stadium. That's amazing. I love that shot. That's awesome. Maybe like a drone shot. All the purple in the crowd. All right, let's jump in. Minutes into the first quarter, Phoenix Jr. finding Polk for the 8-yard touchdown pass. And this amazing catch. Washington will be the first on the board. And the defense coming in big with the sack. Washington showing Michigan State their ranking means nothing to them in the House of Purple Rain. And the final out in Washington, 39-28. The Washington Huskies will take this win. 397 yards passing for Phoenix Jr. and 153 receiving yards for Polk with 3 touchdowns.
And staying in the Pac-12, let's hit some of those Pac-12 at dark games. SDSU traveled out to Utah to take on the 14th ranked Utes and their unstoppable team. That game just kicked off about an hour ago. So far, 21 Utah, 0 San Diego. I think this might be Utah's ball game, but there's still plenty of game to go ahead, and we'll have the full graphic for you coming up.
And another night game. And there's your final, or not final, this game is in progress, excuse me. SDSU at 0, Utah at 21 currently. We will have that updated score later on. And another night game in Fresno, the Fresno State in the house of Lincoln Riley and the USC Trojans. Fresno coming off a tough loss to Oregon State last week, but the Trojans have not lost a game yet. That game also just started, so currently the score is 3-14. USC is in the lead currently. This might be USC's game. The Trojans have looked pretty dominant so far this season, but we will see. Fresno State put up a good fight against the Beavers last week, so we will see how this game plays out.
Now it's time for the one and only Oregon State Beavers, once again playing late at night. They're also at a neutral site, as we brought up, in Portland to take on Montana State. And that game just ended. Final in Portland, 28 Montana State, 68 Oregon State. Chance Nolan with 276 yards passing and 4 touchdowns. Mellett with 101 yards and 3 interceptions. We'll have the full highlights for you tonight at 11.
And moving 2 hours down the I-5 to Eugene, where the Ducks dominated in today's intense ranked matchup against the BYU Cougars. If you missed it, here's a recap of the game. The number 25 ranked Oregon Ducks hosting number 12 BYU. First quarter, no score. Bo Nix rushing in 2 yards for the score. Oregon up 7-0. Second quarter, 10-0 Oregon. BYU's Jaron Hall finding Isaac Rex for the 28-yard touchdown pass. Finally, BYU has a score on the board. Still in the second, Bo Nix hits Troy Franklin for a 50-yard gain. Nix would rush for a 2-yard touchdown on the next play, giving Oregon the lead 17-7. Bo Nix once again tossing it, Terrence Ferguson for a 15-yard touchdown. And third quarter, Nix will keep it for himself,